Welcome to Vlogmas day 1. There might be a slight delay to begin with because earlier on I spent time actually getting all my sort of videos videoed, edited and everything like that and uploaded. So this might be a slight delay on this one, but then eventually we will catch up. But I might actually be a delay of about 1 day to give me time to sort of check it, edit it and upload it rather than rush that night to get it done, as it will get a bit late sometimes because it depends on what time I finish and what I'm doing on that particular day. On this occasion I have scribbled down a few notes here. I can't believe it's been a year since I've done this. Some things I might not necessarily repeat or briefly mention, but not go into too many details. Where I can, I might just put maybe a picture up or something, but it could be from the previous year, just because I think else it would get boring, because some of my routines stay in place. I never put my decorations up before the 1st of December. They will be going up on day 2 due to the fact the guys will be home. Hubby's just going into work for a couple of hours and then we'll get the decorations down. I'm aiming to do it in 1 day instead of 3 days and up to 5 days tweaking, because I want all the boxes back up in the loft, due to the fact on the Saturday, which will be the 3rd of December, we've got our granddaughter overnight as well for the Saturday, that night and part of the next day. So I'm going to start with my sort of basics. Pretty much everything is obvious, but this is just the route I go down. As I might have mentioned on my planner decor, sometimes when I'm streaming off quite a few bits and my mind's going, I sometimes get a little bit confused what I've mentioned and what I need to bring up. So Vlogmas day 1 is doing those sort of preparations and lists and everything, and also I spent the rest of the day in between videoing and getting those videos uploaded and everything, is finishing decluttering my home. That's putting all the ornaments away. Some ornaments I'm leaving out this year because I'm not putting all my decor up. Yes, you heard me, I'm not putting it all up. I've streamed it down a bit, hopefully by about 20-25%, which might sound a lot, but I've got a lot of decorations. Some pieces I'm hoping to give away. There is boxes that might not even come down from the loft because it's got no for 2022, because I've altered a lot of things around. That may come in evidence if you followed me for some time, or even if you're a new subscriber, do check out my playlist for Vlogmas 2021, get it right. Because some things might be changed, some might be repetitive, and again some might not go into too much detail, but there's been a big swap around and I had it down in my notes and the guy said yeah it's going to go that way. Things like, I know there's a swap around on trees, except for the main tree in our lounge, because that's a 7-foot tree that's gradually over the years got larger, but while we can, we are going to continue with the tree. If anything was to happen, I think the one thing that would go up, you know, because I'm talking about illness or anything, is hopefully our main tree. Anything and everything goes on that tree. Our eldest son is 30, that's a phone, 30, he was 30 this year, so that's how far decorations went back. Plus every time we go somewhere or whatever, sometimes I pick up a Christmas decoration, and I like to get a special one for myself as well. If I haven't had one purchased for me, I tend to then go out and maybe buy one for myself to put on the tree. As I've said previously, our eldest son has not taken on all his decorations. Our granddaughter's went last year, because obviously she's that much older, because each year I bought her a decoration. And even with our sons, I've always put the year on the decoration and also their initials. The idea is that when they leave home, you box the ornaments up and you give them to them, you know, for their tree, especially if they have families or something, you know. Our eldest son hasn't taken them. I'm not that disappointed because I like them, and a lot of them, as you will probably see when I either put it up or in the days to follow, you'll see that sometimes I clump them together. Fingers crossed, I'm asking or requesting, whichever you like, or congealing, is that the word? Not blackmail, no, I don't like that word, to get us all involved so we can get the decorations done in one go. As I said, the main tree takes so long to go up. So let's get on to the list. So wrappings. Two things about this. Wrappings, that you've got all your wrapping paper, your bows, your tape and everything like that if you haven't already started wrapping. I have not started wrapping yet. Pretty bad for me because normally I've wrapped sort of the last week in November. That's only for the fact that we were a bit delayed in getting our granddaughter's main presents, so maybe it's not a good idea thinking about it that little kids shouldn't be watching this if they're sitting with you. So wrappings, anything to do with wrappings, pull them out if you got them like I do. I have a, you know, box and a bag full of wrapping paper, bags, everything to do with wrapping, things to top as well, just to see if you do need anything. If you're like me, I always have a small budget after each season, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, whatever, Easter, you know the shebang, you know my routine. And that's when I tend to buy things like that, especially Christmas, not so much Christmas cards now because I do actually make all mine and I spread it over the whole year. But it's a good idea to sort of have a budget if you can afford to and look out for those pieces. Sometimes now you find rather than wait till Boxing Day, things have been slashed a week or even a couple of days. There was one occasion I was out on Christmas Eve. It doesn't happen now, but it happened this particular time. Hubby was working, although Christmas Eve is his birthday, took my boys when they were little up to the Tesco's and I picked up so much stuff. I don't tend to go out till Christmas Eve. If anything, if I need any food, depending what day of week it is, I tend to try and get it 23rd at the latest. So that's going off topic, that's on another subject. So that's to do with wrappings. Also make, if you haven't already got it, your gift list and also your Christmas card list if you're doing cards. I tend to still do them. Probably more actually during the lockdown and everything rather than previously. I also try and make sure that I've got them written. I've done most of them. Again, normally I've done everything by now and gone around the street. I haven't at this moment in time, but most of the cards, I would say 3/4 of the way there. I like them done fairly early, like the gifts, so that I can actually, if we're visiting anybody, I can take the cards or gifts with me, save on postage. Just to be aware, you probably have heard, I'm sure we're having a postal strike at some point, and also make sure you keep an eye on those stamps, as I think it's the 31st of January, if I remember rightly, I should say, rightly, get my words out, yeah. My mind's going because although I've got notes down, I've only got a brief because of the stamps. Obviously, with Queen's Head will be not non-avoid. I'm not sure. You will have to look into it. I'm not sure if you can take them to the post office if you have still got some. I don't know, but I'm making sure they're all used. Also Christmas planner books, I haven't got them in front of me. I've got a 5-year book. I've also got a little Christmas book that goes in my bag at the moment. There's different planners, notebooks, pads, pen, whatever, so you get things down on paper. Try and keep it in one place if you can. Normally I have a basket so I can shove all my notebooks and planner and everything in there. This is a Christmas planner separate from my ordinary planner, by the way. And also my Christmas card list is gone back a number of years, and so I don't have to keep writing it out. I either have to cross off no longer requiring a Christmas card for whatever reason. We have had a few bereavements over the years, so obviously their names have been crossed off the list. And then I just do a tick by each of the households or people or whatever to know that they have been done. So as I said, planner books, I've brought this up a number of times. Not sure if I'll sort of bring that in at some point, maybe. I've already said about cards. Say, good idea to have a Christmas card list, even if it's a A4 sheet of paper or a notebook. Put the names down. I've done this previously when I hadn't got my proper planner, and then over the top I've put, say, the years, and then I've just ticked tick 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 under the years as the names are down here, if that makes sense. That we've done. That way I don't have to keep writing the same Christmas list out. That's just a basic. You know, you can go more in depth if you need to. Christmas books, I've brought this up before. Normally I have a basket or a canvas bin that has Christmas books that I like to leave out off of my bookcase, whether they're sort of decorating books, the 12 Days of Christmas, a book that a good friend of mine who lives in America actually illustrated and wrote. And I've brought all this up in a video last year in my Vlogmas 2021. So I'm not going to go into too many details about that one, but books on cookery books. Most of my books that I've got two main ones. It sometimes goes through everything, whether it's wrapping, gifts, crafts and cooking, that sort of thing. So it's like the whole shebang. I always check, and I do this at the beginning of the month as I keep going through. This is also to do with my original planner, is check off my planner for appointments. Medication is another one. I've put a question mark, medication. I do have a lot of medication, and work out the dates, because the last thing you want to be doing is rushing around at the last minute or between the Christmas and New Year period if you can, because obviously delayed with bank holidays, getting those prescriptions either sorted out through your surgery or the chemist. We will not say any more about chemists. And also, like I said, I will include photos, probably anywhere on the screen, of things that I think would be applicable to this video. As I said, I've spent a lot of time today getting up to date with those videos and editing them and just decluttering my home. Keep on with the basics each day as you can. That's what I do, is my sort of 30 minutes tidy up, my 10 item pick up, and also I also do my laundry. That way it can keep on top of everything else. Some people might think this is sort of going out and above, but it might seem a lot, but over the month there are less things that you have to worry about if you can get these systems in place. And I've always done this for years, all my married life, especially when our boys were starting school and I was working as well, and I had a lot on my plate. I was doing different shifts, so I had to be on top of everything. So something else that I still do, even though one son's left home and married, the other one is an adult anyway, is the fact that I always make sure I've worked out outfits for the main days over Christmas, or if we've got a function or anything like that going out, that everything is washed, obviously cleaned, ironed if need be, and hanging up. when the boys were little, yes, I used to label up the coat hangers like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day and things like that, because we used to do, when they were little, we used to do a lot of travelling around to relatives. We hardly were ever home over the Christmas week, only to sleep, if that makes sense. So just a few little bits, and if you do those basics as well, hopefully you can keep on top of everything with everything that's going on. So hopefully you're enjoying, hopefully coming into this season, that things are going to look up for you. It's going to be positive, and I'm one to say this, try not get stressed. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.